What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Mezco 112 Collective Previews exclusive Defenders Dr. Strange. And this figure was kind of a surprise. I don't think anyone knew that it was coming out this week until about last week when people started getting charged for it. And then all of a sudden, he was in comic book stores, and I think it caught a lot of people by surprise. But Mezco is just going crazy at the end of this year, just dropping all kinds of stuff. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to pick up all of it, but it is cool that all these figures are being released, and I am happy with the ones I'm able to pick up, including Dr. Strange. So let's get into the review here, starting with the packaging. It's the typical packaging that Mezco uses for the previews exclusive figures. It's a big metal tin. It looks cool, protects the figure good. Can't really see the figure until you open up the front of the tin. But on the front of the box here, it says Dr. Strange, and then you have the Sanctum Sanctorum logo. And then on the back of the box, you get a look at the figure with all the accessories that he comes with. And there's really not too much going on with this packaging. It does look cool, it's collector friendly, so I'm fine with it. I do wish it was a little smaller, especially when there's no reason for it to be this big. Dr. Strange doesn't come with too many accessories, so it's not like they needed this big old box. It would have been cool if it was something smaller. But anyways, let's look at the figure. And so here's Dr. Strange out of the box, and my first impression of this guy is that he looks really good, but I'm a little conflicted because I didn't know that he had so much of this weird overlay stuff on him. I thought he was just going to be pretty much black cloth with maybe a red overlay, you know. I didn't know that it was going to be all this black stuff, and I'm just not a big fan of this. But at the same time, I do think that it looks good, and I think it might look better this way than it would have if it was all cloth. But I think that it would have been more durable if it was just normal cloth, because this stuff, I mean, there's no signs of it flaking yet, but I mean, just the nature of it, it's bound to flake over time, especially if I keep messing with it. And I'm having a lot of fun messing around with this figure. I haven't been able to put it down since I got home, so I'm afraid that eventually this stuff will flake. You know, no sign of it yet, but we'll see. I just kind of wish they went with all cloth, you know, and then maybe just like lines of this stuff. But I don't like how the whole arm is covered in this stuff. But again, it does look cool. But anyways, let's get into the details here. I like how on the red part, there's pretty much a constant pattern, and you could see it right in there. And it's pretty much everywhere that there's red, you could see that. You could see like on the lining of the skirt, you have the same thing going on. Even on the forearm guards, it's a very similar pattern, but in this case, it's sculpted on. And it does look really nice. And check out how nice just the plain cloth looks. Imagine if the whole figure was just plain cloth with maybe the red overlay. Then I mean, that would have been crazy. It still looks really good. It's a really nice looking figure, and I think them doing this kind of makes it look a little more, I guess you could say, like a little more cartoonish, you know, a little more super heroic or comic booky. Maybe that's why they do that, and they get the complaints about the cloth thing looking so much like pajamas, so maybe they do this to prevent that. And I think they might have achieved that, but I just think if they used the regular cloth, it would be more durable. You wouldn't have to worry about it getting damaged, and I think it would have looked really, really nice. See, maybe if they would have just did something like this throughout the whole thing, where it's mostly cloth with just a little bit of that stuff, but I don't know. But hey, check this out. This looks really nice inside of here. Look how good this is. And again, it's like a red cloth with some more of that overlay, but it's really thin. You almost can't feel it. And I wish it was that subtle everywhere else, but either way, it does look really nice, and I am happy to have this figure. I'm going to say that this is probably my favorite version of Mezco Dr. Strange. I love the classic one. I mean, I love the classic look. There was a few things that kind of bugged me about that figure, but I really like this Defenders look, and I think it works really good in figure form, especially for this Mezco figure here. And one thing they did here a lot better than they did on the classic one was the collar. The collar on my classic one was all messed up. This collar looks really nice. It doesn't have any weird metal in it or anything strange like that. It's just a regular collar, and it looks really good. But yeah, see, I mean, the longer I look at this, the cooler I think it looks with this stuff. But I'm just really curious to see how it would have looked if it was just all black cloth. But yeah, let's keep looking at it here. So the belt is sculpted, and that looks good. You have some red with some dark shading in there, or like a black wash kind of. You have black shoes, but they do have some blue kind of details on them. So I do like that. And the skirt thing does not have a wire right here, but it has wires here at the end. So I was really surprised that there wasn't a wire in here. I thought there would be, but I am happy that there's a wire piece in this flap and in this flap. It's in both of them, so that is cool. And yeah, for the most part, I think this figure looks really, really nice. I think this body size works good for Doctor Strange. It's not too buff or anything. It's kind of slender, and it does look good. The face sculpt is really, really nice, but it's no surprise here. It's the same exact face sculpt that we got with the classic version and the New York Comic Con version. And I think this would have been a good opportunity to throw in a alternate head, so it kind of sucks that they didn't, but at least the one that they have in here is really nice. And yeah, look at that. And someone brought to my attention that it looks just like Vincent Price, and now I can't stop thinking about that. But that is awesome. He would have made a cool Doctor Strange back in the day. And when someone said that, it made me really wish we had just a normal suited body so I could throw this head on there and have a Vincent Price figure. That would have been pretty cool. But yeah, so anyways, I do like this Doctor Strange a lot. Like I said, I'm a little torn on this plastic overlay stuff. It's held up so far, and I've been messing with this figure a lot, but I'm just worried that it's gonna flake over time. But we'll see, I guess. And for accessories, he does come with 6 interchangeable hands, including a pair of fists. He has a couple of spell casting hands, and then he has an open hand and a flat hand. And then he does come with 2 spell effects. One of them is green, and then one of them is red. And then he also comes with the Orb of Agamotto. And this thing is sculpted really nice. There's a lot of detail in it. I like the way that these eyes look on the side of it. I like the legs of the stool here. They have like a wooden effect to them, and then at the bottom they kind of look like wooden feet. Those are cool, but the standout is definitely the eyes. I like the way these things look a lot. And then the dome here looks really cool too. It's shiny gold color. And this thing can open. All you have to do is kind of push it a little bit. And there's a little latch in there somewhere. You don't want to force it. Oh, there we go. I was pushing the wrong side, but you push it right there and you could open it right up. And then you have a little globe, or the orb itself actually. And this thing is pretty interesting too, because you can pull it out like that and then you're able to spin it. And that is really nice. And this little globe thing is actually really detailed. All the different continents are sculpted, and then you have some white up here for the North Pole, baby. But yeah, this thing is really cool. And I believe that this also came with the New York Comic Con exclusive version of Doctor Strange. So you have a couple different ways you could get that, but this is the first time that I've seen it in hand, and it's very, very impressive. And then of course it comes with the standard Mezco stand, and this looks pretty nice. It has the Sanctum Sanctorum logo on there. It has the peg that he could stand on, and it also comes with the adjustable posing arm. And now for some size comparisons. Here he is next to a couple of his Defenders teammates. Here we have the Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Namor and Walgreens exclusive Silver Surfer. And then now here he is with the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And then now here we have the Mezco 112 Collective Popeye and the NECA Caesar from Dawn of Planet of the Apes. And then now here he is with the Marvel Legends Walmart Black Panther and the Marvel Legends Comic-Con exclusive Magic. And then next up we have the Mezco 112 Collective Iron Man Mark 42 and the Mezco 112 Collective Commander Rogers. And then here we have the Figma Captain America and the SH Figure Arts Captain America. And then last but not least, here he is with the SH Figure Arts Infinity War Hulk. And now here we have him with the non-exclusive version of Doctor Strange. And I really like what Mezco's done with Doctor Strange so far. Both of these figures are really nice. Even though they're not perfect, I am a big fan of them. And I do not have the New York Comic Con exclusive version, but I do plan on getting that one day because that one looks nice too. And one thing that I thought was really dumb that they did here was that even though they're using the same body, for some reason, the new Defender's body does not have the magnets that the original body has to hold on the cape. And that sucks because there was a point in time when he was wearing that Defender suit and he did have a cape, so it would have been cool to be able to throw it on there. Of course, you could make it work by just, you know, fastening the cape to itself. Let's see here. Because the magnets are in there. You know, you could do something like that, but that doesn't look as cool. Actually, that looks okay. But yeah, that's so weird that they wouldn't keep the magnets on the body. It's the same body. They kept the same stupid arms, but not the magnet. Sorry, didn't mean to sound so negative because, again, I do like these figures. But yeah, that was a strange choice because it would have been cool to be able to put the cape on there because look how cool that looks. Man, we gotta make that work somehow. I don't know, yeah. And I really tried. I thought maybe they were just in there. You could feel like the indentations, but the magnets just aren't there. So Kind of a strange decision on Mezco's part. So in the articulation department, this figure is definitely lacking a couple of essential things, but if you already have the previous Doctor Strange figure, then you already know what we're getting into. Or even if you have any of the Mezco Joker figures, I don't know if that body is the exact same body as this, but it's very similar, and I would say that the articulation setup is pretty much identical. And yeah, this body, they really need to get rid of it and give us something with better arms. But let's get into it here. So his head is able to move side to side, and it has movement where the head and the neck meet and where the neck and the torso meet. You get some really nice side to side. You get some tilting going on. You could get him to look up to about there. Get him to look down to right there. So the head joint is really nice. And the torso has the typical Mezco setup. You have the mid-torso cut and then a waist cut. And using both of them, you get some pretty good movement, but I'm a little hesitant to go crazy with it because I don't want the material to get pinched into the joint there. But let's see what we have going on here. So he's able to crunch forward to about there. You could probably get it a little bit more if you want to get adventurous with it, but I'm scared to get my his suit pinched in there. So that's as far as I'm gonna go, but it's pretty good. And then you could get him to lean to the side, pretty nice amount. Get him to lean back. So this torso is actually pretty good. It's not too bad at all, especially for a character like Doctor Strange. And he does have a swivel, and you could get a little bit of swivel at the upper torso, and then you have some swivel at the waist. But it's a little hard at the waist, so you might want to get most of your swivel up here. And then for the arms is where the problems are for this figure as far as articulation goes. It doesn't have any upper bicep swivel. There's no shoulder swivel. There's nothing cool like that. But let's get into it here. Again, I'm not going to push his arms too far because I don't want to mess up the material, but they do go up a pretty nice amount. Yeah, this material, man, you got to be careful with it. Goes back to about there. And then they do come out to the side to about there. Like I mentioned, no upper bicep swivel. That really sucks. And the other thing that really sucks is the single jointed elbows, man. They don't even go 90. Look at that. That sucks. That's the one thing that really sucks about this body. Everything else is kind of forgivable. You know, the shoulders I could live with. Even not having the upper bicep swivel I could live with. But I just wish he had double jointed elbows because this is garbage right here. And then he has the elbow swivel. His hands can swivel around, and then they have a hinge. So yeah, sucky arm articulation. But the legs are nice, so the legs can come all the way out to the side. You got to kind of bring his pants up. Very similar to the other Doctor Strange figures, his pants can kind of fall down. It's a little harder to notice because he has a skirt. But anyways, his leg could come out to the side to about there. They come forward to about there. Go back to there. Then he has the upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. There's no swivel at the boot, but you do have a swivel at the foot, and you can pivot side to side. You got some rocking action going. You could get them to move all kinds of cool different directions. So the feet are really good on this figure. So yeah, you know, the articulation, like I said, the arm articulation really sucks, but it didn't really catch me by surprise this time because I already knew what I was in for because of the previous Doctor Strange. And when I had that figure, I didn't know that he didn't have the double jointed elbows, so it was really disappointing. And yeah, in this case, you know, I kind of just accepted it and I'm okay with it, but I do wish that he had them. Aside from that, I think I'm okay with the articulation on him. So overall, I do like this figure a lot. He does have a couple of flaws, but I was already aware of those things walking in, so I can't really say that I'm mad or disappointed. I already knew that the arms sucked, and, you know, that's the big flaw with this guy. If he had double jointed elbows or different articulation setup as far as the arms go, he would be a lot better. He'd be in my top 5 this year. As it stands, he's probably in my top 10 somewhere, but he could have been high up on my top 5 if he had double jointed elbows. Same thing could be said for the classic one, you know. These figures are really nice. I think they capture the Doctor Strange look really good. I think the Defender suit looks awesome. I like the red and black a lot. I love the pattern on the red. All of that looks really cool. Like I said before, I'm a little torn on the plastic overlay stuff. I do think that Doctor Strange looks awesome. I am curious to know what he would have looked like if he was all cloth with just the red overlays or even just red stitched cloth or something like that. I think that would have looked cool too. But as is, he does look great. I just really hope that overlay stuff holds up over time, but we'll see. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks a lot for everybody that's been checking out all my videos lately. I've been trying to put out a lot of videos because I really wanted to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2018. It's looking unlikely. I'm still like 700 away or something like that, probably more than 700, but you know, that's what I was shooting for. That's why you see so many videos lately, and I still have a bunch more to come, so hopefully you guys are enjoying them. And just for fun, again, let's try to guess what my next review is going to be. And I'll give another hint, another simple hint. Again, it's a Mezco figure because they're hitting us with the avalanche of figures, so you know, there's a bunch to choose from there. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you could guess what figure it is that I'm going to be reviewing next. So thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and thank you very much. Peace.